Hi, I'm Chef Kaela, and today I will be making coleslaw using my Chef Amy tools that I got from her in my kit. I will be using my paring knife, my mini santoku, my lemon squeezer / citrus juicer, my kitchen scissors, and my serrated knife. And I have duct tape on them, so this is how I know they're mine and not someone else's. And in our coleslaw, we'll be using green onion, sugar and salt, cabbage, mayonnaise, celery, carrot, and chives. Okay, and I'm going to start off by cutting the green onion. You cut off the end, just the root part, because you don't want to put that in your food. And then you can cut it in half, just because that makes it easier to cut because it makes it more even. And then you just cut it into little rings. Alright, now we're done with our green onions, so we're going to put it in our small bowl because we're making a small serving. So then you can take the back of your knife and scrape it, because you don't want to use the blade because it can dull your blade, and then that's not very good. And then we have our mayonnaise, and we're going to use a high heat rubber spatula. It doesn't have to be high heat, but in this case it is. And then we're going to scrape our mayonnaise into our bowl. And we're going to be scraping the bottom and the sides to make sure we get the most that we can out of it. And then we have our carrot.
Smile.
Alright, so now we're going to be cutting the end off our carrot. And then we're going to use a grater zester. And then we're going to go and grate some of it off. And then we tap the end because it gets stuck on there. So then we tap it and get it out. And then that gets a lot off the bottom. And then I'm going to move on to our celery. And then we're going to cut it into little pieces like this. Okay, and now we're going to bunch it all up because we're going to use a French term called chiffonade. And that is where you put your hand on the tip of your knife, and then you kind of go like that and cut it into smaller pieces. And then it always kind of spreads out when you start, so then you can push it off your knife and you bunch it back up again. And then do it again. We're doing chiffonade because you don't want big chunks of celery in your coleslaw, because I don't think anyone likes the huge chunks. So it looks about good right now. So we're going to take the back of our knife, we're going to take our bowl, put it at the end of our cutting board, and then we're going to use the back of our knife to scrape it into the bowl. And then we're going to do a pinch of sugar in there. I'm going to kind of sprinkle it around. because you don't want it all in one spot because it gets stuck and you don't want that. And then we're going to add some salt. And then finally we're going to chop up some of our cabbage with our knife. And then we're going to move on to using our kitchen scissors for the chives. Now we're going to be cutting our cabbage so we can put it in our coleslaw. I'm kind of cutting it into little strips right now. Now I'm just going to be cutting it into littler pieces because, again, we don't want the big chunks in our coleslaw because it's not really the yummiest when you have a giant piece of cabbage and you can't taste anything else. And now we're going to put it in our bowl. We're going to scrape it off our knife, use the back of our knife, and put it in our bowl. Okay, so now we're going to put in some lime, and that's where the citrus juicer is. So you're going to have your lime cut into fourths, so it's so it's a tinier piece. And then you're going to put this part down into the juicer, and then you're going to squeeze it, and then the juice is going to come out. And then you can twist it to get the juice that's stuck in there out. And then you can, if you have a compost, you can compost it. Or if not, you can just throw it away. And now we're going to be mixing it. We're going to mix it up. Well, we still need our chives, so I'm going to use the kitchen scissors because they're quicker than using a knife. And then you just kind of cut them into littler pieces. This goes much faster than using a knife because you can move it quicker because it's not on your board. Okay. And don't forget to wash your kitchen scissors after this because they might get sticky. Now we're going to give it a quick stir just to get all the chives mixed in. And now the most important part is trying some. So I'm going to take a small bite. Delicious. This is a one-person serving, so I can make this for my lunch, a side of my lunch, or I can make a bigger serving and share with my whole family. Thanks for watching my video on coleslaw, and don't forget to get your tools at playingwithfoodanddirt.com.